good evening once again, Dirtfish Rally friends, and welcome to our end of day 3 review of the Monte Carlo Rally. Now, before we start, David, do you want to tell all of our lovely Dirtfish friends where we are?
Toyota Gazoo Racing.
Isn't it nice to be in here?
It's very nice. It's always nice to be in here, but it's nice. It's first time in almost 2 years.
The first time in almost 2 years, and do you know what? It's been such a long and arduous day out there. Both myself and David asked whether we could come in and enjoy a cup of coffee.
And they said no, but they said they did offer us some red wine. But it's
Indeed.
a little early in the evening.
The
but
coffee.
before we start, 10 euros? Sorry?
Yeah,
Anything to
I
say?
own 10 euros. Listen, you know, what David is referencing is it's that snowy part across the Col du Fontbelle.
Col du Fontbelle?
Col du Fontbelle, on what was traditionally known as the Cisteron stage. It was a little shorter. It was a little shorter this time round, so it wasn't called the Cisteron stage, but we still had that wonderfully difficult and challenging section.
And some kind of an idiot suggested that they wouldn't be using winter tyres.
Now,
who would that be, Cole?
Now, George Donaldson, George Donaldson, who's a man who knows all about the Monte Carlo Rally, did say that it wasn't unreasonable to expect them not to use winter tyres, David.
George wasn't even there.
He wasn't there. I didn't think they would be using winter tyres on that section. They did. Now, had it been the traditional stage, they might not have. But because it was shortened and because the section in the middle was so much more proportionate
He's still
to the
trying to
stage.
get out of giving me 10 euros.
No, I'll pay him the 10 euros because I got it wrong. I do actually pay my bets. I don't renege on my bets. The story of the day was the drama. You can hear in the background that they're working on Elvin Evans' car. Let's just have a quick look. There we go. Quite a number. It's a flexi service, so they bring one car in at a time. It does mean that these boys have a remarkably late night. The story was that snowy section, the tyre choice, all sorts of drama out there today.
Both times as well. This morning it was just nuts, wasn't it? Just to see.
These guys have wrecked this stage. They wrecked it twice. They knew where the snow and ice was, but we still saw mistakes on the snow and ice. The issue you've got is that you always think you're going too slowly. So you're always pushing. You'd think you're hemorrhaging time as you're creeping across the snow and ice. And we saw it with Elvin Evans. Okay, Evans was where? Was that in that stage? It was in the previous stage before. We certainly saw it with Tanak. We saw a big moment for Sébastien Ogier as well, although he describes it as a small moment.
But also, Cole, the difference now is that they're on cross tyres.
Yeah.
So as we said, 50% of the corners, they've got a soft slick, which is not ideal.
Let's then talk about the battle at the front, because at the start of the day, it was clearly Sébastien Loeb that was leading. It was a very small lead he had over Sébastien Ogier. That lead disappeared pretty quickly, but it was all pretty close until that final stage of the day, where
I'm not sure it was close, but you always felt today that if yesterday was Sébastien Loeb's day, today was Sébastien Ogier's day. He always looked to have that little bit in reserve, and it was interesting when we talked to Loeb at lunchtime. One of the issues yesterday, he'd been able to run the car pretty much on the same tyre all round without this crossed idea. When you start to introduce that cross of tyres, it really destabilises the car. You get different levels of grip in each corner. And we put it to him that actually it was him that started that whole thing.
He did.
Back in 2000. It must have been 7.
It was when we were based in Trier.
Yeah,
in
7
Germany.
or 8 in Germany.
Yeah, a long time ago.
And it was him that did it first, but he struggled a little bit with the balance of the car.
This crossing the tyres just upset that balance, and he didn't quite have the feel. But you know what? There was a chance in that final stage. Both drivers had studded tyres. There was a chance that maybe we were going to see different tyre options until Sébastien Loeb made his choice, and then this happened.
If he went with the slicks, because he saw that I keep the slicks. It was not the plan, but when I spoke with my gravel crew, we said, it's not stupid, the slicks, and then I decided to try with the slicks, and Seb saw that at the last moment, because I was a bit stupid, but I passed next to him, and but I didn't know where he is on the road section, and I stopped too late. So he saw it, and he changed for the slicks also. So
the only thing I wanted to cover in this moment is to be sure that we fight with same condition and don't have any surprises from for the strategy, you know. So, but we see that Calais with no tires was faster in this stage. So I did a really good stage, I believe, and I managed to take a lot of time on him, especially on the snow section. But yeah, it's always challenging when you have to go this cold with slick tires. So at least I enjoyed the tarmac section. It was the first time, because most of the time we drive cross, it's not so fun. Now it was at least fun on the tarmac section.
So David, do we think maybe that was the defining moment of the rally?
No, I think potentially the defining moment is still to come. It was a moment,
True.
but as Ogier said, it was entirely sensible. It was the only thing to do, to negate any advantage or disadvantage. And he did that. And he is now kicking himself, as he said, because Calais was on the cross tyre with the stud or winter tyre and went way quicker.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think what we saw in that last stage was Sebastian just being a little bit more cautious.
Calais Rovanpera.
Oh.
Now, Calais Rovanpera on Thursday evening just looked lost. He just didn't know how to handle that car.
He was lost.
They've made progressive changes. You talk about drivers having to change their style. You know what? He's changed his style a bit, but they've also changed the way that the car is responding. He doesn't like cars that understeer, and we know these cars are prone to understeer. They've managed to find settings that have given him a bit more. He's adjusted a little. He won 2 stages today. Rovanpera is looking so much more comfortable. Craig Breen, others have fallen by the wayside, and particularly Alvin Evans here. Craig Breen finds himself in 3rd place, slightly in no man's land.
It's been a good day, I have to say. I think we've definitely moved on another little peg again. Little baby steps, unfortunately, with me, and it's all definitely going in the right direction. I'm a lot happier with the car today. I felt already confident from the first couple of Ks this morning, and just kind of kept it going through the day. And okay, we've been incredibly lucky with what happened around, but at the same time, we have to be quite pleased.
What do we think, David, of the chances of, if things stay as they are, perhaps team orders coming into play tomorrow? Remember, Sebastian Loeb will not be doing a full season, will not be challenging for the driver's title this year. 3 points is the difference between 2nd and 3rd. Switch them around?
For me, it's a no-brainer.
I agree.
Absolutely. M Sport has been bitten in the past. Would you turn them around? Yeah,
I really would. I 100% would turn them around. But there are considerations. There's the Red Bull consideration. There's the wonderful story. But you know what?
There's no consideration.
I think the Red Bull, the sponsors, Loeb is clearly one of their biggest athletes. 2nd, but is there much difference? Is there much difference between 2nd and 3rd? It's a podium. It's a remarkably strong, successful story to tell. So I think it will happen. I really do think, as you say, they've been burnt in the past, M Sport.
And ultimately, Sebastian Loeb, he wants to win. If he's 2nd or 3rd, I'm not sure he'd be too stressed between 2nd and 3rd.
I agree with that entirely. Very quickly, because we're coming towards the end of our time here with our end of day review. Hyundai,
it's a shocker. You can pontificate. It's a shocker.
What Tanak at Monte? What is going on?
Yeah, 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. But for me, the team's just not prepared. They are not prepared.
It's a big call, David.
They're not.
I agree with you, though.
They didn't have a tarmac car ready to come here to the races. They're paying the price for a late start.
They really are. Thierry Neuville was another one, and David and myself managed to catch up with him at the side of the road where he was fighting to repair that front right damper that had popped out through the top mount, and he did a great job.
Doing that.
Popped out. He did a great job in repairing that car. He did a great job in nursing it back to the service park, as did his junior teammate Oliver Solberg, who's been battling fumes escaping into the car all day and feeling nauseous, the eyes streaming, difficult with a tight chest. Solberg did a really good job there as well. David, a day of drama, plenty of action, plenty of incident. Drivers losing wheels on the stage. We'll see that. Let's have a quick look at that. What a moment this is for Stéphane Lefebvre.
Absolutely, and you look at how an event can turn on its head.
For him,
yesterday, just a superb result, and then the 30-minute penalty for his gravel note crew, his ice note crew, making a mistake on a stage. It's a shocker, and you've got to feel for him because he's driven brilliant.
He really has. A man with massive talent. So, folks, we have one more day to go. We have 3 stages to go. David, how many kilometres?
60.
Just about 60 kilometres.
We should
tell you where we are.
We should just mention Andreas Mikkelsen leading WRC2,
Yep,
Sam
yep.
Paari leading WRC3.
C3,
They're all
yeah.
new WRC3 with
Absolutely.
Fiesta Rally 3 cars.
Tomorrow, we go back towards Entrevaux. Now,
Yep.
the power stage is the last part of the Entrevaux stage that we saw running on Thursday. It caused a few issues. It was very cold there. There was a lot of ice, a lot of tricky patches in the hairpins down to the village. So, folks, let's not take anything for granted with 3 stages to go of this year's Monte Carlo Rally. The safe money, the sensible money, very much on Sébastien Ogier. But I think the hopeful money, I think the hearts, the passion is there for Loeb. A heck of a job to do, David. Can he do it tomorrow?
Of course he can. It's Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo.
The thing that we have to say is that the cars have been reliable
Yeah.
so far, haven't they? Without wishing to jinx it. Yeah. But it's a big ask to get through another day with these cars, which have suffered some technical issues. So, but anything can happen.
It's cold out there in the stages, folks. 3 more to go. Sunday is going to be interesting. Thanks for joining us for our end of day 3 review. Stick with us at dirtfish.com.
Now about that €10.
Go away.
€10.
Go away.
No, you're not going to forget about it.
Go away.